Dave again here with another question from the question bank in the style of what you find in your Hayes&Harris Math SL textbook. This is from Chapter 5a from the question bank. We have a function, f of x is equal to 8x, take 2x squared, and a portion of the graph is shown here. First part is we're asked to find the x-intercepts of the graph. That's going to be the x-intercept here and the x-intercept here. Right away we know there's going to be 2. So for part A, we get x-intercepts when f of x is equal to 0. So we're going to let f of x be equal to 0. This means that 0 is equal to 8x take 2x squared. That's f of x. 8x take 2x squared is equal to 0. We'll solve this for x. You might be tempted to divide by x, but you must be careful. Anytime you divide by a variable in order to eliminate it, you are preventing the solution 0 from existing. Because if you divide by a variable, you can't have division by 0. X is no longer allowed to be 0. We don't want to do that. So instead of dividing by x, what I'm going to do is I'm going to factor out an x. I'll factor out a 2x, in fact. 2x factored out of 8 leaves us just 4. And 2x factored out of negative 2x squared leaves us just negative x. Now that I have these two terms multiplied together, I can use the null factor law, which tells us that if two things are multiplied together and result in 0, then one or both of them must be 0. So 0 equals 2x and or 0 equals 4 take x. So one or both of these things has to be true. This means that x is 0 and or x is 4. And that appears to agree with the graph. That looks like about 0, and there's no units on the scale, but that could be 4. It's certainly not like negative 4 or something like that. So far so good. Next part says, write down the equation of the axis of symmetry. This shape is symmetrical. It's symmetrical along this line, which we call the axis of symmetry. This line has an equation. It's going to be of the form x equals something. It's just x equals this point here. This line is all of the values on the Cartesian plane for which x is this value. Now we need to find what that value is. Well, the secret is that the position of the axis of symmetry is always immediately in between the two x-intercepts. It's the average of the two. So for part B, all I need to do is average my two x-intercepts, 0 and 4. 0 plus 4 divided by 2 is equal to 2, which is not the final answer. The axis of symmetry is a line, and the answer needs to be expressed as a line. Therefore, the axis of symmetry is x equals 2. If I don't have that x equals 2, then I'm not expressing a line, I'm just expressing a single number. And that's not the complete answer. This is not worth full credit. You need x equals 2. All right, for part 2, I want to find the y-coordinate of the vertex. So coming up here, the y-coordinate of the vertex, the x-coordinate is 2. We already determined that. But now we want to know what the y-coordinate is. The y-coordinate is going to be f of 2, and we just need to solve f of 2. So f of 2 is equal to 8 times 2, take 2 times 2 squared. 8 times 2 is 16. 2 times 2 squared is 2 cubed. That's 8. All right, so the y component of the vertex is 8.